What's up, y'all? What is up? What is up? What is up? I pray that you guys have had an amazing day so far. I wanted to go live to release this word that God gave me. Our declaration is God knows. God knows. Hold on one second, you guys. I've got to get me some water, as you guys can hear. I'm really going to make my tea tonight. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all. All right. Our declaration on this afternoon is going to be God knows. Like I said, I wanted to release this revelation. Today has been a somewhat steady day. It has been a busy day. It has been a beautiful day. We got rain the majority of this week, and today the sun actually came out. It got a little bit hot, but it wasn't too hot to where you don't want to go outside. It was just one of those days that, if I could say anything, it was the day that God showed me that, like, he really does know. And by, like, me saying, like, God knows how we feel. God knows the things that concern us, the things that bother us, the things that weigh us down. He knows, how some things that we go through literally shatters our heart. But on the flip side, God also knows what to do to let us see that he's present, to let us see that he is aware of what our circumstances are, what the condition of our hearts are. He has his own way of just showing us. And so today for me was one of those days where God literally has been showing me that, like, he's here. Apart from, like, God having me busy, like, I still have those moments where you just get down and out. For me at least, I began to think about my dog. And there are some moments where, if I can be, transparent, where my heart does still get sad. There are no tears. God doesn't let me sulk. He doesn't allow for me to be depressed. And, I know that there may be some people that may be tired of hearing me talk about my dog, but when you have a pet and that pet literally is your best friend, your emotional support, you will get it. And so it's been one of those days where I've just literally allowed God to lead the day. One of the things that happened today, and I'm gonna just flow as I need to flow. One of the things this morning, I didn't talk about it on an earlier broadcast. Okay, he says not to share that yet. And so I'll wait to share that first part until it is all the way done. It's not all the way done. But one of the things that happened today that I wasn't expecting was my tattoo lady wanted to finish, like, the tattoo that I got. And I'll show you guys so that you guys can see, because I don't think I showed y'all the first one, but I did not, and it's still red, you guys. I did not show you guys the new edition that I got before I moved. And so I'm actually going to show you guys so that you guys will understand the background of this story. And so this is the newest edition, as you guys can see. It's a cross, one side with Jesus and the other side, the line which represents the line of Judah. You have the three crosses and just covered by clouds. The bottom part is very red because I just got that finished. And so this woman is always very busy, but she's always been kind to me, always been good to me. And so she asked me if I could come today. My first response, if I can be real, was, I don't really want to do it today. I ain't feeling it today. And I say that because each time I've gotten a tattoo, God has led me, and I've always felt ready for one, if that makes sense. Today was just one of those days where, and I promise y'all I'm going somewhere, I just did not feel up to it. I just was not feeling it. I was dreading it because she can be a little bit slow, and I was one of those things. I don't want to be there all night, God. I don't want to be there all night. And so, needless to say, I get up there, and I'll just say this too. You know that God's hand is on something when you're faced with opposition. And so I'm getting up there, and one of her the lady that does my tattoos owns the shop, but one of the people that works in the shop was giving me such a hard time with getting in the shop. And I had to be very stern with her about why I was there, who I was there to see, which everyone at this point knows that the woman that I go to is the only person that I go to. It's the only person I've ever gone to. And I just got this done a little bit. It'll be probably coming up on a month. But anyway, so I get in there and she was finishing up a tattoo and it was just positive. I needed the laughter. God knows I needed the laughter. I needed to be around good energy. I just needed that. And so it gets time for my turn and we're just talking. She was updating me on one of her friends that I've been praying for that has been in the hospital in really rough condition following an accident that this gentleman had. And so as I'm sitting in the chair, she says, she sits back in her chair and she says, "Are you gonna let me do a really cool tattoo on you?" She's never asked me this. And so I kind of was like taken aback. I'm like, sure, depending on what it is. And she says, I want to do a cool piece of your dog. She says, I want to do a really cool piece of your dog. And she says, I'm not going to charge you for it, but I just want to do a really cool piece. So just send me some pictures and I want to do a really cool piece of your dog. And there was another lady that works there. She was like, yeah, before you came up, she was just talking to me about it. And in that moment, I almost broke down in that chair because it was God's way of letting me know that, like, I haven't cried in days. To me, I knew that that was God's way of saying, like, I see that your heart is still broken. I see that you really missed your dog. It was him acknowledging how I feel. The past week, I've really been in a state of mind of trying to move forward, trying to move past, that feeling of being depressed, that feeling of being heartbroken. It's been a battle to not allow depression to take over me, to not allow, sadness to take over me concerning that, because it is still a very touchy thing. And there have been other moments too where I've just been busy and just trying to just move forward, where my aunt that raised me sent me an email. She never sends me emails, but she sent me this email, and I'm sorry if I'm getting emotional. But she sent me a really touching email. I didn't even know that she knew that my dog passed away. But it was very personal to Bella. It had her name in it. And just some encouragement, spiritual encouragement, because it has been very, very rough on me. So I'm sitting there in a tattoo chair, because tattoo artists are like any other entrepreneur. They do not work for free. The things that they use to tattoo you, the ink, the needles, it all costs money. And so for this woman to say that, I knew that she knew that my puppy passed away, but for her to go through those lengths to say, I want to be a blessing to you, I knew that in that moment, God was saying, I see you. And I believe that there are so many moments where, like, God sees that things really get to us in our process. He sees that things really weigh us down. There are moments where God sees that despite how we feel, despite where our emotions are, he sees, like, us clinging, just trying to make it through every single minute of the day, just trying to stay afloat, if that makes sense. And so there are moments where God will confirm something to you, and not even really confirm something to you, but sometimes he will. But there are moments where God will literally move through people, move through situations to let you see that, like, he sees you. He sees that, how vulnerable of a place you are in, how rocky of a place you are in. And I believe that there are some of you guys that, just like me, you may not have lost a pet, but there may be things that have happened previously, or recently, that still weigh you down, that still get to you. Maybe it was the loss of a job. Maybe it was something in your health. Maybe it was something financially, whatever the case may be. And despite you feeling the way that you feel, you're continuing to press towards the mark, which says a lot about a person's strength. to go through something that hurts and to still say that, God, I trust you. And so that was like one of the first things that happened, at the tattoo parlor. And just to see that I didn't have to tell this individual to do this for me. It was just something that the Lord placed on her heart. The second thing, and this may seem very, very small, very, very insignificant to many people, but it meant a lot to me. It was God's way of, when I explain it, you guys will get it, but it was God's way of letting me know that, like, hey, I know that you're in a rough place, and I'm going to make it a little bit easier for you. One of the things that many people don't know about, because I don't talk about, is my boy Capone is a very picky eater. Since I have had him, when I say he is a very picky eater, like he was that dog out of all three of them, where I would have to go and mix his food with soft dog food and, just for him to eat, because he wasn't going. Or, when it came down to taking like their heartworm preventative, like, y'all, I would have to go and buy hot dogs, chop up the medicine, put the medicine in the hot dog, and cut it up really small, because he's a smart dog, where he would eat around the medicine, spit it out. And so I would have to do like things like that. Well, one thing that I noticed is, like, right after Bella passed, like the next day, he started to eat dry food. And ever since she passed away, he's been literally eating dry food. Like, I have not had to purchase soft dog food. And so today I got home and I'm like, okay, I need to give them their heartworm preventative. Gave Sweetie hers first. She ate it, no problem. Sis gonna eat. And then it came time for Capone. I was skeptical. I was feeling like I'm gonna have to go to the store and get some type of meat to mix this in. But the Lord said, just give it to him. And sure enough, he ate it all. And the 2 years I've had him, that has never happened. And for me, it was one of those moments where it meant a lot. It was one of those moments where God just really gave me grace and really favored me in a way to where I would not be so overwhelmed and I would not be so stressed. I guess the point that I'm making is that, like, in moments after rough seasons, moments where, like, so you have a major setback, a major loss, or you take a major hit, God is such a good father that he gives us relief. I'm going to say that again. He is such a good father that he gives us relief. He moves in ways that lets us know that he's there with us. And even though at times in our journeys, it seems like God is silent, sometimes it seems like he doesn't acknowledge your emotions. I had a moment like last week that I didn't talk about, where I just had to straight up tell God, I need to grieve. Like, why you not letting me cry? Why you not letting me be sad? I'm not a superhuman? Like, you keeping me busy. Like, let me just have this time to myself. I had one of those moments where I felt like I needed to feel, and God wasn't allowing me to feel. It sounds silly thinking back on it, but God had his own special way of letting me know that, like, he saw me. He sees the condition, but he also sees my efforts at moving forward. And I wanted to give that same encouragement to those of y'all, because some of y'all have been having rough days. Some of y'all have said that you've had rough days. But some of y'all have been still like having it rough. Maybe it was today. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it was last week for you too. Maybe it was the beginning of this week. Maybe you say, Apostle, this entire week has been like super emotional, super rough. What I would tell you is to hang on, because God has something in store to let you know that he's there, to let you know that he's got you covered. And I believe that this is a season where God is going to be giving us the evidence to let us know that it's not going to always be quite a struggle for us to get throughout each day, for us to maneuver through the seasons of life that he takes us through. I pray that I'm making sense. And so, even down to like rental assistance, today was one of those days where God said, check it. I've been so frustrated with it, because I'm like, God, they moving slow. You can't reach them on the phone. And today was a day where he said, check it. And lo and behold, it finally has gone through. And so there have been so many things that have happened. It was a concern of mine, because I knew, like, God, I need to catch up on bills. I need to catch up on X, Y, and Z, and it was God's way of letting me know that, like, he's there. He sees. And I think sometimes we all need that reminder, because sometimes it doesn't feel like our concerns are the Lord's concerns. Sometimes it feels like God is dealing with everything else in our life but what we feel is the major issue at hand. I say all of that to say, stay the course. Keep showing up. I said this earlier today. There comes a time where you got to pick yourself up no matter how you feel, no matter what you're going through. And you got to literally put one foot in front of the other to just continue to move forward. That's literally been what I've been doing since Bella's death, even though I've been sad at times, even though I've been, overwhelmed at times, even though sometimes I'm like, God, is this a bad dream? Like, wake me up from this dream. Even though I've had moments of mixed feelings and that was why the tattoo was so personal, because one of my prayers is, I don't want to forget her. That was like one of the last things that I said to her before, like, they administered like the euthanasia, as I was rubbing her and kissed her head. And I said, Mama will never forget you. And I meant that. She left her mark on me and anyone that she met. And so for God to put that on that woman's heart, that was just, it was major. It was God saying, I heard that prayer. I heard it. I saw that desire. I saw it. And it's like, a lot of times when God doesn't respond right away, whether it's verbally or whether he's responding with evidence, a lot of times we do feel like how we feel or our request is not being heard, or that it doesn't matter to God. And so it was something that after I said that, and it's just something that I've been silently praying and thinking about. I don't want to forget my dog. I don't want to forget the good moments I had with her. I don't want to forget any of that. And so today has just been one of those days of just God showing up and showing me like that he hears the silent prayers. He hears our loud prayers. He hears our concerns. He hears them. But the thing is, he has his own way of responding to them. And so maybe you've had a rough day. I would tell you, just wait on God. Wait on God to respond to your prayers. Wait on God to respond to your tears. Wait on God to respond to your heart's desires. Wait on him to respond, because in his timing, he will. And so that is the broadcast, It's been one of those days for me. It's been a super emotional day. Not a day of crying, but I've had my moments. I think the most teary-eyed that I got was in the tattoo shop. Like, my eyes started to like well up, and I had to take deep breaths so that I would not break down. And so that is where we are. That is where I am right now. I know some of y'all have the question, Apostle T, are you gonna get another dog? A lot of people have been wanting to know. Some people have flat out asked me. Some of y'all have probably wondered to God, like, I know Apostle T loves her dogs. Is she going to get another dog? My answer to you is in God's timing. Lately, he has been giving me visions of a puppy, like a puppy to raise. The only thing that I know about this puppy is that it's a brown puppy. It looks like a pit bull, like Capone. The only other thing that I know about this puppy is, even though I want another boy dog, I feel like it is a girl dog, which I am okay with. But that is where I am right now on things. It's not one of those things that I'm pressing for. But that is where I am. And I think too, like, when we've gone through something so traumatic, God will give us a vision, like, of what comes next. He begins to like give you visions. Like when Bella first passed away, I was like, I don't want no more dogs. I want to go through this again. I don't want to go through this again, God. But like, as I just have kind of allowed God to heal me and lead me, it's been one of those things that as the days pass, like, I'm more receptive to. I'm used to having 3 dogs. I'm just used to having that amount of dogs. I'm used to having a puppy to fuss at. Bella was that puppy that I fussed at. She was just as sweet as she can be, but she was a wild child. And so I've been yearning for that level of excitement. Capone gives his own excitement. He catches the zoomies all the time, and I don't, at this point, because we're on the first floor, I don't even bother catching him. I just let him run. At this point, I also had another funny story. Above me is a couple, and they have 2 puppies. Well, they're not puppies. They look like grown dogs, but puppies, y'all get it. I call all dogs puppies. And at nighttime, y'all, I used to kind of get upset at these dogs. I mean, it'll be like midnight, and you can hear these dogs running throughout they be having the zoomies. They be running through, I mean, it sounds like a whole stampede. And so the other day I was having a moment, and the Lord gave me a revelation. And he showed me, us on the 3rd floor, and I know the people under me could hear my dogs running, because I'm sure they sounded like a stampede too. But the Lord gave me a revelation. He said, you understand, so I placed you beneath them. And he said, I know that you won't file a complaint because you've been that puppy mom, that dog mom with puppies that they just run. They get the zoomies. They're just going to they gonna be they gonna be a dog. And so he said, I placed you specifically, strategically underneath this couple because I knew there would be no issues. You understood and you got it, versus someone that doesn't have dogs, never had a dog. You know, they would probably have filed a noise complaint because it's that loud, y'all. I mean, it's literally that loud. It'll be early in the morning, late at night. And you like, now these puppies have been quiet all day. Now they want to run. And so that is it, y'all. That is it. And so till next time, y'all. Peace. God knows.